welcome to the Virginia Horse Park. We're here, beautiful facility, beautiful area and weather, and we're here with some beautiful black horses. The Friesian. I'm sure you've been watching on the internet, watching the show and taking care of business for us. We're just having a ball here. We'd like to see you here too, so if you're in the local area of Lexington, Virginia, come on down to the arena. It's free. We got some great vendors. You can get some Christmas gifts and have a great time. And right now, she used to be on Capitol Hill, she tells me, so she's got some sordid stories, but we're not going to tell you about those. Victoria Gillenwater, I watched her last night in the halter class, and you were tailing the horse.
Yes.
And I had to make a comment to my wife, who was sitting next to me. I said, she didn't move her whip very much. And you actually mentioned that when you came back up earlier.
Yes.
That you just kind of, you're there, but you have a good time, and you own Friesians, and you were in other breeds as well.
Yes. We own a farm, a CNP farm in Knoxville, Tennessee. We have about 10 Friesians right now. We raise them, train them, show them. We show them in almost every discipline and in hand. I did tail the horses in hand, and some of them are so game that they don't need much except my support would be presence. Well said.
This is Mr. Butts, by the way, and he's into horses. He's Lorick Stables up by Niagara Falls, isn't it?
Yeah, north of Niagara Falls in Youngstown.
Wow, and you'll need to talk up and all that. You ride Harleys as well.
Right, Harleys.
So what's the
yeah.
difference
Horsepower.
between a big black horse and a Harley, huh?
Well, horsepower, but the horsepower is a little bit more compassionate on four legs than it is with two wheels, so it's different. You get much more enjoyment out of the animal because of the compassion, and say the horse has so much more feeling, and if you introduce children, sick children, cancer patients, or with disabilities, that I learned that the Friesian horse has much more compassion, and that's why we picked that breed. The animal is far more superior in compassion and what they do for the children. They give them so much heart, and they help them through their illnesses and support. So.
Well, you say that. Do you take your horses out?
No, actually, I bring children in from foster care homes or cancer patients, and we let the children have a day at the farm, say, and literally the horses will put their heads on the ground to let the children, interact with them. They go all over, sniffing all over their bodies, the affected areas. You can see where the horse zeroes in. It's truly amazing and heartwarming to see that the animal has that much interest or compassion, I should say, that it has, and the impact it has on the child is amazing. The parents tell me the children haven't talked about their illness. All they could talk about for 2 weeks is what the horse did for them, and it's truly heartwarming, and I know that it's healing in its own right.
Well, you got into Friesians not too long ago,
No,
right?
in my late 30s, we got into a couple of horses and found that we were interested in breeding, and we went through Azteca, my first horse, and we got into Hanoverians, and I broke my back. I had hip replacements, and I found that I could drive better and have more connection with the animal through driving than I could riding because of my hips. And we got into the Norwegian fjords as a driving horse, and we went to...
Have you driven a fjord lately, right?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. 4 legs, and you put 2 together and multiple. So then we went to Equitana, and we seen the Friesian. We dropped everything and we followed the Friesian to its home, and from there on, the mid to late 90s, we started breeding, and that's what we pride ourselves on. We've had 20 babies in 10 years, and not only do we have the mothers of the existing mares, and now the babies had babies, and now the babies are having babies. So we're in 3rd generation, and we show all of our own horses. We train on site, and we have a great time with it. It's fun.
You have a beautiful facility, so are you planning an extra wing on the Lorick Stable?
No, we're hoping that we can, through sales and introducing them to other people, and try to get more people involved in driving, because it is something that you can do into your late ages, or if you're disabled, or it's something that you can certainly get into and enjoy the animal throughout your entire life.
Are you having a good time?
I have a tremendous time with the Harleys, but this is much more enthusiastic, it's more involved with the family and everything. You get everything all well rounded and fun, and keeps you healthy too.
Victoria, you've been, how long have you been at Friesian?
I've been in Friesians, just like you. I started with American Saddlebreds, Hackney Ponies, Morgans, and even a few standardbred red horses. And a few years ago, we started with a Friesian lesson horse, and that's what started it all. And that was probably 7 years ago. And since then, we've won world championships with all breeds, with all of my breeds. And so it's been thrilling. And we love the Friesian for so many of the reasons that you mentioned.
Right.
That I ride, I also drive, but not to your extent. But we ride saddle seat, we do dressage, suitability, hunt, we do a lot of different disciplines. And that's why we enjoy this horse show, is because there's so many classes offered for so many different, there's a many driving classes for euphoric stables, there's many riding classes and driving. We drive as well for Scenic View. We're from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Right.
So the horses are from all over, and they are a wonderful horse that we ride ours. We have a little gamer horse. That's because that's what we enjoy.
Right.
But their Friesians are very trainable. They have a great deal of personality. They're very kind, and that's what got us into it. And we love having this horse show. It's an easy ship for us. It's about 6 hours. The facility here in Lexington is fantastic. The crew that puts together this show has worked hard from the beginnings of having this horse show. Doug, you've been with it for many years.
Yes, I have.
This is my third. This is only my third one, and we focus on the Friesians in the fall and leave my other breeds, and we'll pick up again with them later. But this horse show has come so far. I mean, with its entries, and it's exciting to watch. And it's just like you mentioned. You can find something. There's something for kids. There's something for an advanced rider like me. There's
Over 50 crowd.
There's an over 50 crowd. There's a junior exhibitor crowd.
Yep.
There's
No, it's
a
fun.
professional and an amateur, and you can find a Friesian that fits about anybody. And we love it for that.
Well, in the horse park, the way it's set up, unlike some of the other facilities, I was in Las Vegas last weekend doing the Andalusian World Cup. And it was difficult for some of the spectators to get down into the barns and see the horses, see the trainers, and talk to
Right.
the owners.
Right.
Here,
Right.
it's wide open. You can go all over and talk to everybody.
We actually, it's funny, we welcome it. Last year, we had a horse in his Dutch registry. He was the #1 stallion in North America last year. And he is as big and friendly, he's in Xander von Camelot. And you would never dream that this gigantic, gorgeous Friesian stallion is as friendly. And children come and have their pictures made with him. And it's our pleasure. It's the first breed we've had that we open the stall and lead him out, and people have pictures made with him, and we show them how a Friesian moves, and he's a stallion.
They love it.
Yeah.
Their temperament, unbelievable.
They welcome it.
And I find it interesting because people like competitors, or all people. Some people trail ride, some people. There's a temperament in a Friesian for everybody. Like I said, I ride on the higher scale of that. A lot of people ride on the lower scale. They like to trail ride, but there's a place for them, and even in the competition, there's a place for that type of horse.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that is one of the few breeds that has embraced all the different disciplines, all the different types of horses that you have with your Friesians, and I think other breeds could learn from how Friesians are doing it.
And it's fun because
It's a
last
blast.
night we had an armor class
It was wonderful.
that had great entries in it, and believe me, if you've never seen a Friesian with a mount in armor, it's unbelievable. And we had an armor class last night. Then we also had a fantasy costume class. We
It
even
was
had
amazing.
a shark.
I saw the
Driving,
shark. With the lifeguard, wasn't there a lifeguard?
Yeah, there was a
waiting?
lifeguard, and of course they requested the Jaws theme for that, and we had a royalty there and all kinds of different things. I'll tell you what, we're going to get back to the show here at the horse park. We'd like to invite you to come. It's open to everybody. It's free, so have a great time. We'll see you next time, right here, live